And like, I mean, even one other situation. This is like one of the only things that I actually thought about writing down when I was listening to his little 30-minute clip about me or whatever. But the DoKnow thing, because DoKnow is somebody who, him, AD, whatever. Like, I feel like they've been like largely cool through this whole breakup or whatever. It's not like they're just going super out of their way to talk shit or whatever. So I don't want to make it about them. And I still do have love for those guys and never expected us to be in a position where we had anything against each other or whatever. But DoKnow tells like a very, very simplified version of a story involving him. And I think the fact that I still don't consider it an easy decision at all, but like that the narrative has been painted as if I just did something horrible, that's something I want to speak on too. So basically, we had a situation where there was a YouTuber, and I guess I'll just say his name because everybody's going to know anyway, but American Cholo, Mexican dude, I think he got locked up for a while or whatever, but he's got a street background and everything. Shout out to him. This is not an attempt to diss him or whatever, but basically, he
welcome to No Jumper. Fuck all the nice shit. Go ahead.
Well, okay. He was discussed on the channel at a certain point because it was during the whole Tyga thing, and basically DoKnow had said some shit about the Tyga I Carumba video where DoKnow said, fuck all that, this video is cool, like y'all are just complaining, et cetera, et cetera. And so then American Cholo, who at the time we didn't even know about, he came out, he made a video basically saying that DoKnow was not representing his people right or whatever by not pressing the issue about the I Carumba video, right? And so we spoke about it on the show, and then a few days later, he did an interview on the radio with Tyga, and then I think like the next day or a couple days later, basically Flacco hits up the social media group chat. Look, keep in mind, at this time, every single person in the social media group chat, I believe, besides me, is of color, right? Actually, they're all black. So they started having a conversation about a clip that had come out that was basically American Cholo, and he was referring to Tariq Nasheed as a 4-letter derogatory racial slur that is spelled COON that I'm not going to say. And everybody in the group chat was pretty upset about this and wanted to post it, thought that it was a fair thing to post. Now, I okayed it. I said, yeah, fucking it seems newsworthy to post, for sure, do it. And it went up, and it became more and more of an issue because American Cholo was claiming that it was taken out of context. Anybody who wants to like go Google this, you could probably go view it, and you could decide if you think it's out of context. But the result of it was that basically, I don't know if it was said directly to him or if it was just kind of through the grapevine, but DoKnow became aware of the fact that this might cause a problem for him, that him as a representative of No Jumper, that some people were so angry about this that they were trying to get on him to get it deleted. Now, think about what position this puts me in as a white business owner that owns a business that is oriented around hip hop. I'm being told that because of essentially like a threat, I've got to remove this thing that my team feels like is a actual story. It's an actual interesting thing that needs to be discussed that they've considered offensive or whatever.
Wanted you to remove the fact that Cholo called some black people coons.
DoKnow wanted me to remove it.
Well,
and American Cholo wanted me to remove it. The entire social media team, of course, didn't.
Why did he say it publicly if he didn't want it to go viral? I mean,
you would have to see the whole thing in context, but it was like, I still don't understand what American Cholo's actual argument was for like why this was out of context.
Because he don't want to look racist, but you already said the shit.
I mean, I'm not trying to open the can of worms with him again, but that is how I would take it.
This is Brick Baby talking. I have nothing to do with Adam. I'm trying to hear it out because I'm right here listening to you, and it's like, okay, you got a dude that said it. So if Adam goes on and calls a group of black people the C word, so he wants to. No, I'm just saying if you go on, that should be on every vlog, blog, whatever the fuck it is, and everybody would be reacting to it and doing whatever. So if you post something here at No Jumper about the shit, I mean, you can't be mad at that because you said it on YouTube. That's what happens on clip.
And think about what I would have to tell the social media team in terms of why it was removed. Hey, I know you guys thought that this was newsworthy. I know that you guys thought that this was racist and that it should have attention called to it. But he threatened us, so now we have to remove it. I don't really consider that to be like a good enough reason to tell the social media team that we need to back down on something that they thought was actually important to be discussed.
Then
you know,
that shit is like a slippery slope because if you take that down, then you got to take down everything. Every time somebody
anytime you report on anything about somebody tough or somebody with connections or somebody who could conceivably make some shit happen, it's got to get deleted.
Yeah.
Because somebody threatened us. And I did end up taking it down. And I will explain the reason why, and what changed my mind about it was the fact that he pulled up to the office, the old office, with like 30 people. And so that made me realize, like, oh, we were reporting on this guy as if he was a YouTuber, a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then when I see something like that, I'm like, oh, okay, he's a street dude, or at least he wants to move like a street dude. You know, he doesn't want to talk about shit. He wants to, you know, do things publicly. And it's not like anybody got beat up or whatever, but it's like you could kind of feel that that's where the energy was going, is like, oh, this shit is going to become this weird thing if we don't remove it. And so at that point, my policy became, okay, if this guy is not going to play by the rules of being a YouTuber or a content creator, we're just not going to report on him. We're not going to speak on him, whatever. And we haven't spoken on him since. And it seems like things are fine now. So, like, I mean, I don't think it was the end of the world, especially because that clip had been up for like 4 days at that point. And I feel like,
that's the most momentum you're going to get up.
If you know Instagram, it's like everybody going to see it no matter what.
It's a new story out anyway.
Yeah. And I'll give
4 days.
I will give American Cholo like the most benefit of the doubt possible, which is like he's like relatively new to content creation, right? And I do think that he felt like he was able to maybe say that shit about Tariq Nasheed without it being painted as him being like racist towards all black people. I feel like I'll just give him the benefit of the doubt that I understand that that's what he was going for, even though if you say something that can be that easily clipped and taken in a different context, I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, it's just like that's another example of a really tough decision as a business owner who's concerned with actually doing the right thing about what information that we put out there, that was then easily reappropriated to just make me look as if I was this heartless fucking person, when in reality that Instagram post never made us any money. It's not like, you know, that's just not how it works on Instagram. You don't just like have a viral post and then it just makes you a bunch of money. That's not how it works. But that's what you would think from seeing people talk about it, as if I was just not concerned with the safety of the team at all. It's like, I am concerned with the safety of the team. I'm also concerned with doing the right thing in terms of our journalistic practices. And that was one of the more difficult situations I've had to deal with since all this shit, you know, since we've been doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough coming from like your perspective. Me coming from the same place as he came from probably would have been handled differently. But at the same time, like, you know what I'm saying, you don't want you running a business like that. You don't need people pulling up and doing all the extras over a fucking clip. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like you said, you got to watch what you say, period. Like, you're on YouTube. You're on a public platform. It screen record, whatever, it goes out. So either way it goes, you get what I'm saying? Like, either way it goes, when you speak racial slurs, and that's why I try to step back. And it's like, we all know at the end of the day, well, the blacks in LA, we know why American Cholo feels the way that he feels. And we're trying to put an end to the black and brown stuff, but it's like little knacking stuff like that. Like, hey, let's be honest, we were all slaves. You get what I'm saying? Like the brown and the black, we all got worked out of our position here. We all been through the same type of struggle. I don't see where it becomes more superior to be Mexican or it becomes more superior to be black comes into play when we're both at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to the social hierarchy of America. So it's just like, we could keep on going at it just like black on black crime. It makes no sense. But I don't know where this goes back to where blacks and Mexicans have to beef with each other in order to exist or say anything, because we all come from the same bullshit. No matter what part of the border it was from, we all come from the same struggle.
Right. And I mean, the only reason why that became a thing was just because of the fact that, you know, like, it eventually just caused enough fucking, you know, weird shit that, like, and that's just what I resent about the whole thing, is that whole situation, so many people involved in it basically made it out as if I had this super simple decision in place that I had to make: protect DoKnow, delete the post. my whole fucking team would have looked at me crazy if I just did it off of nothing, you know? And I ended up having to do it anyway because it just was becoming too intense of a situation.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, that in general, it's like that to me is just such a clear-cut example of how we have to move in the future and the fact that we just need to be super fucking transparent.